It was the last day of school before summer break. The hallway buzzed with students laughing, shouting, and slamming lockers shut. But in the middle of all that noise, one girl walked slowly, her books clutched tightly against her chest. Her name was Emily Carter. Emily was 17 years old. She had long, soft blonde hair that curled at the ends, pale skin with freckles on her nose, and light blue eyes that always looked like they were holding back tears. She was quiet. She didn't have many friends. Most people thought she was just another shy girl. But Emily had secrets, big ones. Her teachers said she was smart, but distracted. She missed assignments, often came late, and sometimes didn't come at all. What they didn't know was that Emily's mom was sick. Her dad had left when she was 10. So every morning, before school, Emily cleaned the house, cooked breakfast, helped her mom take her medicine, and made sure her little brother got ready for school. She was doing the job of an adult while still being a child. On this last day of school, she stopped in front of the principal's office. Her hands were shaking. She looked down at the letter in her hand. It was a dropout form. Her heart beat faster. What if this was the biggest mistake of her life? What if she ruined her future? But deep down, Emily knew she didn't have a choice. Her mother's health had gotten worse. The medical bills were piling up. They couldn't pay rent. She had to work. She had to find a way to survive. School could wait. She walked into the office. The secretary smiled. "Hi, Emily. What can I do for you?" Emily hesitated, then handed her the paper. "I'm dropping out," she said quietly. The woman's smile faded. "Are you sure about this?" Emily nodded, even though her throat was tight. The principal was called in. He tried to talk her out of it. He said, "Emily, you're one of the brightest girls in this school. Don't throw this away." But Emily had already made up her mind. "I'll come back later, but right now, my family needs me." She left the office feeling numb. As she walked home, the sun felt too bright, the streets too loud. She felt like the world was moving on without her. Back at home, the small apartment smelled like medicine and soup. Her mom, Sarah, was lying on the couch with a blanket wrapped around her thin body. Her brother Jake was sitting on the floor watching cartoons. Emily forced a smile. "I'm home." Her mom looked up with tired eyes. "How was school?" Emily sat down beside her. "I dropped out." There was silence. Then her mom whispered, "Oh, Emily." "I have to help," Emily said, holding back tears. "We need money. We need food. We need a home." Her mom didn't argue. She knew her daughter was right. That night, Emily stayed up late searching for jobs on a secondhand laptop. Most places wanted a high school diploma. But she didn't give up. She kept applying, sending emails, making calls. Finally, she found a part-time job at a small diner downtown. It wasn't much, just washing dishes and cleaning tables. But it was something. She woke up every morning at 5 a.m., took care of the house. Emily Carter was now 28 years old, and life looked very different from the way it used to. She no longer lived in a small apartment. She had moved her family into a simple but warm house with 3 bedrooms, a garden, and lots of sunlight. Her mother was healthier now after getting proper treatment. Jake had just started college, studying business, just like his sister, even if she never went to school for it. SimpleStart had grown into a full company, now serving more than 50,000 small business owners worldwide. Emily led a team of 22 people, designers, developers, support reps, and marketers. She was proud. But success doesn't stop storms from coming. It started on a quiet Monday morning. Emily had just poured a cup of coffee and was reviewing user feedback when Rosa, her support manager, came rushing into the office. "Emily," she said, looking pale, "we have a problem." "What is it?" "A user just posted on Twitter saying our software leaked customer data." Emily's stomach dropped. "What?" Rosa showed her the post. It was getting attention. Retweets, angry comments, business owners saying they were scared and would stop using SimpleStart. Emily's heart raced. She called Liam, who was now head of the tech team. "Please check everything. Now." Liam and 2 other developers ran through the system. After 2 hours of searching, they found it. A bug caused by a new update that accidentally exposed a few private customer profiles. It wasn't massive, but it was serious. Emily sat in her office, staring at the wall. She felt like she was back to being that scared girl again, the one who used to cry at night because everything felt too big. But she shook her head. "No," she whispered. "Not this time." She stood up, took a deep breath, and walked to the middle of the office. "Everyone, listen up," she said, her voice firm but calm. "Yes, there's been a mistake, a real one, but we fix it. We don't run from it." She and Liam wrote a public statement. They explained exactly what happened, how many users were affected, only 14, and what they were doing to fix it. They also reached out personally to each of the affected customers and offered full refunds and free service for the next year. Some people were still angry. Some left. But most users appreciated the honesty. A few days later, a tech journalist posted, "SimpleStart made a mistake, but the way they owned up to it shows what real leadership looks like." Emily learned another big lesson. Leaders are not judged by how perfect they are, but by how they respond when things go wrong. The company survived the storm. But now, Emily started thinking long-term. What will happen to SimpleStart in 10 years? She asked herself. She wanted it to keep helping people even when she wasn't in charge. She wanted the mission to live longer than her. So, she began building a real foundation.